payroll basic framework. Under that, we have certain tasks. Let me first we'll talk about tasks and events. Schedules and category information and pay group. If you are implementing any of these countries, this is quite common. If you learn how to configure all these steps, you can configure for all these countries. What is period schedules? First task. Period schedules are nothing but pay frequencies. Okay, pay frequencies. What is pay frequencies? For example, an employee might be get paid weekly basis. An employee might get paid monthly basis, semi-monthly basis, bi-weekly basis. Based on the employee pay frequency, we need to create period schedules. It's up to the customer call. What are the current pay frequencies they have? In this period schedule, we will define, for example, just give me an example so that it's easy to understand. Monthly pay group. We will give period start date, pay period end date, payment date. Okay, let me show on the screen to give more idea. Access the task, create period schedule. And I'm going to give some name here, ma'am. Let's say AMD. It's just for easy to understand, or RVS. So that multiple period schedules are there, right? If we search with the name, we will be able to find our period schedules. So, monthly. PS stands for period schedule. What is the pay frequency? Assume the customer is asking us to create monthly pay period. Monthly. Usage. Pay period or period schedule is required for payroll, required for time tracking, absence management, even compensation also. But we are creating this pay group for, period schedule for payroll purpose. Hence, select this checkbox. Okay, you can select more than one usage. For example, one period schedule can be used for absence, time tracking, payroll as well. The more you field you select, the more data Workday will ask you to enter. For example, when you time tracking, I have to enter these details also. But let's stick to only payroll. When do you want to pay salary to an employee? Let's say the customer said last day of the month. Last day of the month, customer wants to pay salary to an employee. Select it. Now scroll down. Select the arrow here. Assume we are going all out 2022 onwards. Select the calendar. First period end date for January month, 31st. Automatically payroll payment date will be updated. Where? Because I told last day of the month should be payroll payment date. Arrow button. Second one. February 1st. Period end date is last day of the month of Feb 28th. Payroll payment date is automatically adjusted. Arrow. March 1st. Pay period end date 31st. I would like to show one example. I'm waiting for that. Just a second. Hopefully here it may be. April, yeah. Period end date is April 30th. Now, any guess, ma'am? So far you have selected, nothing has been populated, but when you select this value, you have an amber color message. Any guess? Why we have?
Because we are prior to the month or 30th Saturday. It's non-working day. Sorry.
Exactly. So it's Workday alerting us, hey, the
Yeah.
payroll payment date is falling on weekend, Saturday or Sunday. So are you sure you want to proceed? No. Bank holiday. How can we process the salary? No way.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why we have two check boxes. So what Workday says, if the payroll payment is falling on Sunday, give -2. If the payroll payment date is falling on Saturday, give -1. Why? Any guess?
So it,
Why
so it pays on Friday.
Right. If the payroll payment date is falling on weekend, -2 means -2 days, Sunday and Saturday, Friday. If the payroll payment date is -1, which means Friday, which means we're paying in advance to the employees. Only if the payroll payment date falls under weekend. Okay. Holiday, if a payroll payment is falling on holiday, for that we have to integrate from absence and time tracking holiday calendar. That's a different topic. Okay. Now, Kiran, 1 year or 2 years, 3 years payroll data I need. Every time do I need to select these values? Something like this manually.
Wait, does time tracking have a separate calendar?
Oh yes, ma'am. For
Got
time
it.
tracking, we had to integrate. So that, for example, though it is working, it's a public holiday, it will give us an alert message.
Got it.
Right. So do we need to select manually every time? It will take quite a long time. Absolutely not required. Two options we have. Option one. Remember, we have assigned the pay periods only 4 months. First month, second Feb, March, April. Save okay. Okay, now see 4 months. Now I can generate the pay periods. How? Go to this period schedule related action, period schedule, generate pay periods. How many pay periods you want to generate? So from 1st Jan, Feb, March, April I generated. From May to December, I would like to generate automatically. So total remaining 8 months. I will enter 8 because I'm going to generate 8 months of pay cycle. Okay, since this is, I will explain, this is applicable for offset payments. I will explain. Please ignore at this moment. 8 months. Okay. Workday automatically generates the pay period, something like this.
And it's a one-time, this is a one-time process.
Yes, ma'am. And simple and straightforward. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, latestly we are generated. Select OK. Automatically, total 12 months pay period has been generated. This is earlier is really one of the hectic tasks for us. Every time either we have to create manually or we need to create with web service, period schedule web service. Now Workday has given this feature in the year of 2016 or 17. Workday strongly recommends maintain pay periods only for 2 years. For instance, we are going go live in the year of 2022. Okay, so Workday suggests create the pay periods only for 2022 and 23. Whenever the 23 payroll runs are going to be complete, then generate few more pay periods. Like that. Slowly we have to enhance. Why? What happens if I create a pay periods for 5 years? Nothing will happen. Definitely Workday will let you to do that. But performance issues will come. Okay? Because when you run the payroll is going to be checked prior pay periods. If you have 36, 46 pay periods, it will take quite a long time to generate the payrolls, earnings and deductions calculations. To avoid those confusions and to avoid the performance issues, Workday strongly recommends only create 2 years pay periods first. And this is one option. Second option, how to create pay periods instantly. In fact, this is an instant process. We do have period schedule. Okay, you can load through the period schedules, you can load through the inbound EIB. We have a separate task. We're going to discuss all inbound EIBs in one session. There I will show another possible option. One is create manually. Another one is generate pay periods. Third one is put period schedule through EIB. Any questions here on how to create pay periods? What data we need in order to create pay periods? What is payment data auto adjust? What fields we have to populate as part of period schedule setup?
No, from my end.
Okay. Let's
So,
also talk.
oh,
Yes.
so when we create the pay periods, you're saying only do them for a 2-year period,
Yeah.
and that is a stagnant 2-year period. I mean, it's not going to roll, and after you produce a monthly payroll, automatically generate the next.
Good one, ma'am. We don't have. Actually, we are also currently brainstorming. Can we automate anyway? Automatically pay periods must be created. I will explain one logic here since you brought this gap. One gap we identified. 24 months we created for one of my project. What happened? You have to keep an eye on the pay periods, when it is going to be run, when it is going to be closed. One of my customer, at the last pay period, they don't even realize that is the last month they're running. They have initiated the payroll. And the next month when they're trying to initiate, there is no pay period exist. And payroll cutoff date is almost there. How to handle that situation? It's like a really critical one, right? So, yeah, we are seeing such scenarios. That's why every year we will get a checklist, ma'am. Okay. The checklist is
Checklist, yeah.
a December checklist. I'll run the checklist because everyone will go on vacations. To make sure everything is smooth, we will perform checklist. What is the current pay periods in process? When is the last pay period is going to be run? Upload, generate, something like that. But automatically, when I'm moving to this pay period, Workday will generate few more pay periods. We don't have that option at this moment, but that's a good ask, ma'am. Okay. Maybe we can raise a brainstorm with Workday on that.
So I guess one of the checklist items would be to verify that you have a pay period created in the system before you run a payroll.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. True.
Okay.
And I will also tell you, show you where we can monitor this. Which pay period is upcoming to run? What is the last pay period is completed? What is the current status? What is the upcoming pay period to be run? That I will explain here. Grouping. Okay. Good. Now, okay, any questions further? Best practice also let's discuss. Whenever creating pay periods, right? Right click on these 3 related action. Copy the text. Again, right click these 3 dots. Go to integration ID, edit reference ID. Because Workday will generate their own ID. If someone asks me upload pay periods for the monthly PS period schedule, this is the reference ID I'm going to look into. If I go with Workday generated ID, it causes some confusions. What is period schedule 69? I can't come to one conclusion. This is part of monthly pay period, right? So best practice, copy paste the name of the pay period without any spaces. So
Wait, now why am I doing that? Why am I doing
that? So the reference ID are spaces.
Why wouldn't I just use the one that the system has generated there?
Okay. One question to you. Let's assume we are all one project. Okay. Now we have 4 pay periods: weekly, bi-weekly, semi-monthly, monthly. Semi-monthly period schedules are going to be exhausted. Now you decided for 2 more years you want to load through put period schedule inbound EIB. In that inbound EIB, you need to incorporate this reference ID so that system will understand for out of 4 which pay period you are running to extend the pay periods. Okay. Now assume you have not given the value. It's very tricky or tough to identify the reference ID since we can't track through this reference ID generated by Workday on the pay periods. Correct? 4 pay periods may have 4 different reference IDs. Through the reference IDs, is it easy to understand which pay period is monthly, which pay period is weekly, bi-weekly? Sorry if I confuse you. Am I clear, ma'am?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. So now it makes sense, right? So when I see the reference, I say, okay, I'm updating the changes on monthly pay period. So that's the reason. Okay, so this task is done. Now let's move on to the second task. Run category. So we know run category will create to define what is the type of the payroll run. A regular, off cycle, on demand, reversal, etc. So for what I'm creating this pay period, I'm going to create for regular pay period. Sorry, I'm going to create this. I'm going to set up the payroll for regular run category. Okay, so go to the system, create run category. Run category, let's classify into 2 things: easy one, complex one. Since the first session, I don't want to discuss the complex one because we should get some understanding on first what is run category, what is the purpose. Okay, name it RBS regular run category. I'm not creating for off cycle, I'm creating for regular. Are we going to use this run category in integration? If yes, select the checkbox. Automatically, all these values will be grayed out. But our payroll is in-house payroll. It is not integration, hence unselect.
Do you mean like integrating over to ADP and letting them do the calculations?
Right, ma'am. Correct. NGA, paycheck, etc. Yeah.
Got it.
So we are using in-house, so we need these details. If we set payroll interface, gross and net pay calculation happening in ADP, so you don't need to capture any data here. Okay. Okay. Now, who are eligible for this run category? Select the row here. Active status are available here from Workday. Off cycle, on demand, regular. As I said, let's make it simple. I want to run the payroll only for active employees. I want to run the payroll only for active employees, which means not for terminated employees. The employees who are active in the system, they are eligible for this run category. Hey Kiran, I also want to process the payroll for employees who are on leave. For example, employees on maternity leave eligible for 6 months of regular salary. It doesn't mean only active employees. I would like to process payroll only also for employees who are on leave. You can select on leave status. Hey Kiran, I also want to process the payroll for terminated employees since I want to process one-time payment, severance payment, or full and final settlements. for severance payment. Like that, the status we have to select. If I select on leave, which means when you run the payroll for 100 employees, out of 100 employees, 10 employees are on leave, only the 10 employees will be processed. Remaining 90 employees will be excluded. When I select active, which means employees who have active status, they will be processed. Employees on leave also will be processed because they're active. But employees are terminated, they won't be processed. Okay, the selection criteria is normally will use for, I will select on leave, and what are all leave types the employees are eligible. This I will select here. Which means employee who's on maternity leave is eligible, remaining employees who's on leave are not eligible. Just giving a heads up, as I said, complex one I will explain in detail. Now let me make it simple. All active employees are eligible. Okay. So normally in Workday, we have 3 status. Let's say 4 status. Active, terminated, on hold. Active means regularly I'm going office. Once a while I'm taking leave, I'm active. Leave means employee who's are availing or on leave at the time of payroll process. Terminated means employees are separated from the organization. On hold means employees are active, but current payroll status is on hold due to disciplinary action. Employee might be absconded, okay, or any other reasons if you don't want to process the payroll for employee. This will be here. For instance, for now, let's go with active. And then, since it's the in-house payroll, we have to define these two also. Point to remember, gross and net pay, Workday already given the Workday delivered value. Gross, net. Enough. If you select this value, will be enough because automatically Workday will be pulled up all the gross earnings, all the net calculations. I don't want to go with Workday delivered value. I would like to create my own values. Before that, what is gross and net? Anyone? What is the difference between gross and net?
Net has taken out all the taxes
Right.
or deductions.
Right. Correct. For example, an employee earning base pay $3,000. House rent allowance $2,000. Car allowance $1,000. Mobile allowance $500. Total gross 3,000 plus 2,005, 6,000, 6,500 is nothing but gross. What is net? In the total gross 6,500, if we deduct employee benefit deductions, if we deduct employee tax deductions, any other deductions like advance salary, advance loan payments, then the employer gets some amount is nothing but net after tax deductions, standard deductions. Here you Workday will ask you either you go with delivered values or you create on your own. Let's create on our own because we are consultants. We should know how to create these values. Select this prompt here. Create pay accommodation. Name it RBS gross. This code acts as a reference ID for this object. This is restricted to only USA. This accumulation is restricted to only USA. Type is gross. You can also give comment. Okay. Wherever you see work tax, please ignore this is part of finance. Finance team needs some plugins in certain payroll setup, compensation setup. Okay, these values must be coming from custom work tax, which is created by the finance team. For example, for loan you are creating, any shift allowance you are doing, a tax related gross you are creating, just you can tag it. It's a reference ID for them. Okay, scroll down. You have two sections here: had to pay, subtract from pay. Earlier, in the year of 2011, 12, 13, that time, we have this option. What earnings I have created, everything I have present here. It's an ongoing maintenance. If I create a new earning, I have to come back here and I assign. It's a kind of rework. Workday come up with a solution. What Workday says, ignore this. Go to the pay component groups. Here, search for add to gross. Canada and USA. Why I have to select this? What is the advantage? Advantage is, since you already set add to gross here, whenever you're creating an earning, associated this pay component group to the earning. Hence, the earning will be falls under gross. Let me repeat. Assign this pay component group whenever creating an earning. Hence, the earning will be grouped as a gross. I request, please read this help text, please. What happened is earlier, as I mentioned, you will select each earning here. If I get 30 earnings 30 times, I have to edit this task. Now, let's set up this and assign this group to your earnings when you create it. Automatically, the all earnings are associated here.
And so you'll add each of the earnings into the text box there at the top.
Can you please repeat again? Each of the?
You would add all of the earning codes at the top.
Yeah, earlier, before when 2011 era. Yeah. Let's make it simple now. Customer has told create 30 earnings. First told 10 earnings they asked you to create. You assign all the 10 earnings here. Later, as part of the enhancement, they told you create 10 more earnings. You will come back and edit and assign the earnings here, right? It's a multiple times you are editing this. Instead of that, what are the earnings you are creating? Directly add this gross to that earning. You no need to edit this. That's what help text is saying that. Any questions?
I have one doubt, Kiran.
Yes, ma'am.
How we will come to know the component is related to earning? While we are creating the component, we will give any intimation.
Good one. So that we will have to discuss. Components are two types, ma'am: earning and deduction. Whenever customer is
Yes.
giving right, is their responsibility to let us know, hey, this is an
Yeah.
earning, this is the deduction. What data we
Yeah.
have to ask to the customer in order to come to conclude earning or deduction, we have to discuss. Please bear with me for 2 more sessions. We will reach to earning. There I will pick up the topic. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, because during the requirement only we will come to know this component is related to the earning and this component is related to deduction.
Deduction. Exactly. Correct.
And we are creating the gross and adding the here whatever the step currently we are doing it, we will add the component. But before that, do we have any other step that we need to state that component is related to earning or deduction?
Yes, yes. That is it. That is nothing but our workbook. Tomorrow I will
Okay.
walk to that workbook. Okay? First 15 minutes I'll walk to the workbook before creating itself.
Sure.
Thank you. So that's all. Here just add to gross. Remember under pay component groups. So subtract from pay accumulation nothing but net, but this task is gross. So don't assign any value. Just select add to gross here. Save it. Then navigate to the net pay accumulation. Same task. Create pay accumulation. Let's call it as RBS net. RBS net. USA. Type net. Same thing. Add the gross here. The one we assign the gross. Under this gross amount, what deduction you will do? That you have to specify here. For this also, Workday has a solution. For example, what deductions I have normally? I have FICA, state unemployment insurance, federal unemployment insurance, local or city, etc., etc., etc. Here also Workday simplified. In the year of 2019, don't select each and every value. Just select employee statutory taxes USA.
So that's the only one we have to select now.
Yes, ma'am. Why? Workday has grouped all the regular taxes, state taxes, local taxes in the pay component.
But that is if you have the employee configured correctly, right? The setup, the locations.
Perfect. That's true. Based on employee locations.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying that after 2019, we can now just select statutory taxes USA. But we also have to confirm that in the HR module, they're set up correctly.
Oh, yeah, HR module, because the tax will be calculated based on the employee location. Exactly.
Yes,
Okay.
right. So it's nice that we can select that, just one, but we do need to also confirm that they've been set up correctly in HR.
That's true, ma'am. Dependency is there always. Yeah. That's why
Okay.
the locations are mandatory fields on you're hiring a worker. Hence, location should be captured. Based on the worker location, it will decide which state the employee is part of, and then the tax will be calculated. These are statutory taxes. We do have certain tax. Pre-tax, post-tax. Out of this, there is one more deduction. Okay. Out of statutory deduction, there are few more deductions. Can anyone tell me what is that? Any guess?
There's a few more deductions besides the statutory ones.
No, one more deduction.
Oh, Social Security, is it?
Social Security is included, ma'am. It's part of employee
Statutory,
statutory.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, God, pre-tax and post-tax.
401k.
Good one. Benefit-related taxes is part of pre-tax because 401k is a part of pre-tax. So we already assigned that one. Okay, let me give the clue. This amount deduction is employee is not ready to pay, but employee is forced to pay. Employee has to pay. He cannot escape from that.
What is it called?
Garnishments.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Garnishments, levies.
Holding order.
Okay.
Okay. So when I create a loan repayment, is a deduction. I will map the post tax there. So that's why I'm assigning here. If I create a insurance or 401k, I will map this pre-tax to my deduction. Hence, it's already there here. On this gross, we are going to deduct these taxes. How it works? If any employee doesn't have any post-tax, it will be excluded. It is applicable only if the employee has a post-tax. This is applicable only if the employee has a garnishment. Okay. Any questions, ma'am, here?
Should we select all these pay component groups as a standard for every employee, or
Blindly, ma'am. Blindly. This is the standard record. In fact, yeah. So once we assigned, gross and net, that's all. Apart from that, sometimes we will process off-cycle payments, additional pay components, bonus, one-time payment, severance payment. So during off-cycle, I will explain these two. As I mentioned, make it simple first to easy to understand. I just selected gross and net. Okay. Workers to process active, gross and net we configure. These three tasks we have done. Any questions on these three tasks? I know since it's the first session, please bear with us. Here tomorrow once we do this, right, we're performing some simple tests to ensure all the test cases, all the setup is working or not. We're going to run the payroll to check all these are working or not. This we'll perform tomorrow. So let me complete this task tomorrow. Okay, let me complete this. I will give the activities along with the page numbers and requirement so that you can do a practice from tomorrow onwards. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. If we don't have any questions, is it okay if we can hold for the day?
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining today. Tomorrow we also will start at the same time and we'll continue. Take care. Good day.